everybody, and warm welcome to my channel, Tarot by Izabela. I hope you're all doing fine, even if we live in quite strange and troubling times for the moment. Today's video will be a viewers' questions video, and today is the 13th of August 2023, and I was thinking about doing this video a little bit later, but since it has happened so many things the last week, and many viewers have asked the same question, so I decided to do a viewers question video a little bit earlier. And soon I'm gonna read the viewers questions for today, but before I do that, I want to thank you all, wonderful viewers, for all of your support to this channel, for sharing, for caring, for the comments, and for your likes. And I'm very grateful to have you as my viewers. And without you, I would not have the strength and I said the push to continue to do more videos. Well, what are the questions for today? Just a moment. I have a little paper here where I have written down the questions. And today's questions are, we begin first with the first one here, and it's about wildfires. This year and last year, we have seen extremely much strange wildfires all over the world. We had the Canadian wildfire on Rhodes, Croatia, Australia, everywhere. USA, everywhere there are wildfires, and they are very devastating wildfires. And the last one, the big one, was in Maui, Lahaina. And that fire started the 8th of August. And it was really devastating. And this will be my first question about the wildfires in Maui, in Hawaii. And the second question will be about Niger's military coup. And there's a lot of things going on in Africa, especially in the country of Niger. And I'm going to look a little bit into that. The third question will be about clones. If there are any clones among us, are they good or bad? What about those clones? And the fourth and last question for today's video will be about the alien attacks in Peru. There have been a lot of news about strange alien attacks there. But let's begin with the first question, and it will be about the wildfires in Maui, Lahaina. And those fires started the 8th of August, and they grew and spread a big area and totally devastated the town of Lahaina. And a lot of reports are coming in that there have been many abnormalities due to this wildfire. People have reported some kind of energy weapon. Roads have been closed, aid has been denied, many strange things. And this is the first question about those wildfires in Maui. What is going on there? Has there been used some kind of energy weapon to start those fires? And there are many videos circulating on the net, this kind of weapons, or they are like flamethrowers on the forests and things like that. And most of those big wildfires lately, they have come to that conclusion that they are man-made. But why start a fire like that? Anyway, we will start with the first question about the wildfires. And to answer it, I'm going to use my tarot cards, oracle cards, and some dice. So first, I'm going to start to shuffle my cards. and try to concentrate on the wildfires, the horrible wildfires with many people have died, and not talking also and not counting the animals and the plants and everything that has burned down. A lot of suffering. Okay, the wildfires in Maui. What kind of information can we receive about that? I'm going to take some oracle cards on this. Wildfires, Maui, Lahaina. Just yeah, there. Right. And a gypsy card. And some dice. Okay. Yeah. And the cards look like this. In the tarot cards, we have 4 of Cups, Ace of Swords, 10 of Wands, 2 of Cups, and the Sun. And then on the Oracle cards, we have a Whip and Fire, Reverence, Kindness, and Consideration. On this big Oracle card, we have a masked figure standing on the planet, quite evil looking, and pointing in different directions. Then we have Come Out of the Closet and Officer. On the dice we have Must, $, a Fairy, Nerve, and Death that is spreading in different directions. So what can we read from this? Yeah, we have the confirmation of fire because I have Whip and Fire. So it's really whipping, it's really hurting the people in Maui. And it was very difficult to stop. They tried, but it didn't work. We have this masked figure pointing in different direction, and this masked figure here doesn't look nice, good at all. So some kind of evil force that is pointing out where to start fires. Who has started it and why it has started? This will be revealed. It will come out of the closet because it's hidden at the moment. An officer, it will be some kind of, could be military, that will bring forward this news, who and why it was started. We have the sun here, and the sun also symbolizes energy. And this energy officer could be some kind of military weapon because they are above each other, that is spreading death in different direction. So probably this wildfire in Maui was not the only place, because there are different directions when this kind of wildfires have started. Follow the money and you will see why. Here we have the dollar sign. So one have to follow the money. So there is some big money involved in this fire in Maui, in Lahaina, why it was destroyed. And it's extremely nerve-wracking for people to have their loved ones killed in this fire, their homes destroyed. And there are a lot of interviews with people that talk about strange things around this wildfire. It was not normal. And it's people that have been working in all kinds of areas, military and so on, and they are like giving interviews. Of course, not shown in the mass media, but on other different channels they are saying openly. I'm going to take some more cards of these wildfires. According to the cards, these wildfires were started by people, or you can call them people if you can call them people. I will not call them people, because doing so much devastation, death and damage, a person would not do that. Not a normal person anyway. Must be some kind of creature. But anyway, why and how and who, this will be revealed by some kind of military person. I'm gonna take 5 more cards on this wildfire in Maui, Lahaina. If there is any information that can be said here, any more information. Wildfires, Lahaina. The thing that comes in, I hear all the time by doing this reading, is other words. Another sacrifice on the altar of climate change. Yeah. And what that means, you have to figure out yourself. I cannot go any deeper into that on this channel. So what more? There we have 10 of Wands again, 3 of Wands, Ace of Swords again, Queen of Coins, and 8 of Wands. The cleanup and rebuild of Lahaina will start in the following weeks, and there will be help from all around the world. People will really want to help to rebuild this beautiful place. There is not really any good thing to have people killed or homes lost, but here I get a strong feeling where it had burned, the soil, it will be very fertile because of the ashes. Yeah. So the plants and things like that, it will grow back, but stronger. The biggest problem is all the homes and all those lives that have been lost. Those cannot be replaced. Not the lives, but home can be replaced. But still, everyone have their own family history connected to their homes. But some kind of rebuild will go quite quickly. I'm gonna take 3 more cards. If those responsible of causing those wildfire wildfires, not only in Lahaina, but in all other places, if they will be put into justice. Yeah, those fell out. Let's take those. They will. We have 4 of coins, 5 of cups, 5 of coins, and the lovers. It's all about greed, money. Yeah, there's some big money involved in this, some very big dark money. Those greedy ones, horrible greedy creatures that have that are behind these wildfires. We have a funeral, so it could even be penalty of death, and all that wealth they thought they're gonna accumulate in this will result in poverty. They will not see a penny out of it. And out of this, when they are put down, because they are murderers, we have the card of the lovers, so pure loving energy can take their place. That was my answer for the wildfires in Lahaina. According to the cards, they are man-made. Some kind of technology used. Could even be some kind of technology that is like focusing the energy from the sun and starting those fires. Anyway, who and what and why is behind those fires, not only in Maui but in other places around the world, will be revealed, and they will put in front of justice, and justice will be made upon them. Yeah, that was my answer for wildfires. Let's continue to the next question. And the next question was about Niger and the military coup in Niger. Yeah, it's a lot of things going on in Africa right now. Many African countries are fed up. They are tired of Western new colonists telling them what to do and which price to sell their products and how to rule their countries. So the colonial forces never left Africa. They continue to mandate, and if you don't obey Western rules, they will have big problems, false accusations, the leaders will be killed or removed or whatever, and a lot of disturbance if they don't obey. So what's happening now in Niger? The 26th of July, the sitting president was overthrown by the military, and he was put into house arrest. So notice, he's in good health, his family is in good health, they didn't kill them, they were put in house arrest. And the military that took over thought that he was doing a very bad job, and he was a puppet of France and the Western politics. So they wanted their country back, and all the money that the French was milking out from Niger didn't really benefit the people of Niger, and France needed especially Niger's uranium. Yeah. And now the people have risen up and said, no, enough is enough. We want our country back. All the West countries and France, get out of our country. We can rule it by ourselves. We don't need you. And the thing is, lately Russia and China, especially Russia, have been touring around in many different African countries, forgiving debts and giving free grain and food for many African countries. And Russia have special agreements with this military that took over Niger, that they're gonna help them to regain their country, and if France and the Western world decide to attack Niger, they will support them and give them aid. And also Russia's Wagner group is in place in Niger to help this military to keep away eventual military invasions from the West. Okay, and the West, together with France, want to do an invasion with the help of ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West African States. So the West have created some kind of EU, but an African version, to keep their power still going on in Africa. But many African countries don't agree with an invasion of Niger, because many African countries are so tired of Western colonization and all the wealth being drained out from the countries. So it's not only Russia that is standing on Niger's side. We also have Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and now even Algeria have promised to support Niger if they should be invaded. So there is a big tension going on in many African countries at the moment, and many African leaders and African people are protesting to the ECOWAS plans of invading their fellow brothers and sisters in Niger, because still many countries are suffering because of the Western's dictatorship over their countries in all kinds of ways. So I will look into Niger. What will happen around this coup? Military coup. Will there be an invasion from the West in Niger, or will Niger regain the total independence from the Western countries? So let's see, Niger. What will happen with Niger and this military coup? Just have to shuffle a little, and so we're gonna see here what they say. And the last one, the cards, Niger and military coup, and some dice. This was a blank one, I need another one. So yeah. Well, and the card looks like this. Let's see what we got. In the tarot card, we have Queen of Cups, Temperance, Coins, the Tower, and Wands. And then we have an anchor, health and healing. On this big card, we have a lady dressed in red, standing in some meat-eating flowers or plants. Those one who closes themselves and eats flies and insects. Then we have resurrection, surrender to change, a widow. On the dice we have riches and a castle, trunk, a crown, diamond, and gleeful. I don't see here that it will be like a full-scale invasion from other countries in Niger. Niger have a lot of riches. We have diamonds, we have crown. So they were filling their trunks with riches from Niger. And it looks like resurrection. So the country Niger will have a resurrection. Right now we have the tower. Everything is falling down. The government, the French are being kicked out. US military are being kicked out. I don't even know what they're doing in Niger. But still, all the foreigners are being kicked out. And the people of Niger want their country back. So some kind of resurrection will it be. And the last card is Six of Wands. So they will succeed. Unfortunately, some people will lose their lives in this process to regain sovereignty and get rid of Western powers in the country, because I have the card of widow. So unfortunately there will be widows left after everything have settled down. And in a way I see Niger will have the crown. It's like almost in the center of Africa, the country of Niger. Will have a crown, will be a country that other countries will look up to and see, my God, they managed to get rid of the Western thieves. And now we can do the same and regain our country back to our people. Yeah. So according to the cards, it will go well. Yeah, it will be also who have been those meat-eating flowers who have been, parasites, carnivals on the country of Niger. Yeah, it looks like the flower, the meat-eating flower, will eat someone else, not the people of Niger. I'm gonna take 3 last cards, and I'm gonna just ask if the country will be invaded by the West, or will they find some other solution. If there will be some kind of war, but this war cannot be won by the West, because Africa really, not Africa, Africa is not a country, it's a continent. Every country is sovereign. But if many countries in Africa will be free of Western burdens, and will manage to take care of their country riches. They don't have to end up in fat bank accounts in Switzerland and in other places. Yeah. Oh my God. Military man jumps out. So some kind of military invention. Yeah. Let's see. Will the country of Niger be invaded? Will the country of Niger be invaded? We have Queen of Cups, Hermit, Temperance, Five of Swords, Six of Wands. They will try something. But I don't see like a full-scale invasion, big war, because I don't see the African country really want to invade Mali, because all of them have suffered due to Western colonialism. There could be on the borders some kind of disturbance, but I don't see a full-scale invasion. Whoever tries to enter, they will be dealt with. So they will not have the success to, regain Mali for Western's interests. No. But they will try, but it will not be full-scale invasion. It will be stopped though. Well, that was my answer for the military coup in Niger. Let's continue to the next question. And the next question was clones. What about clones? Are there clones around us? Among us? Are they good? Are they bad? What about those clones? Let's see. Many people talk about clones, that we have clones around among us. Let's see if there are any clones and if they are good or bad. Clones, yes. What about clones? A little bit difficult to shuffle today, the cards. They're moving a lot. Clones. And the last one, Gypsy card. Clones, clones, clones. And some dice. Interesting. Okay, the cards look like this. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. We have in the tarot cards 10 of coins, the High Priestess, 10 of wands, Page of swords, 7 of coins. And in the oracle card we have thunder and sunlight. After rain comes sun. A judge. And here we have a clone-like figure with horns. And there is a serpent also there, yeah? Then we have integrity, compromise, drink more water. And on the dice we have watching, a dragon, apple, a small house turning into a big house turning into a small house, and trunk. About those clones. In the center we have a clone-like figure. So yes, I would say that are clones. And we have 10 of coins. So there is money involved here. Or there are money given to project regarding clones. I don't know if some of you remember when on the news they first came out with Dolly the sheep, first clone sheep. And of course, every scientist promised, of course, this will only be cloning to with animals, not with people. Yeah, sure. Of course, they will clone people too if they can. When did mainstream media and the scientists been totally honest? Mm-hmm. But there are problems with the clones. They don't work as they should because under the clone we have 10 of wands. Or they get tired very quickly or they get broken very quickly. And it's in hidden. It's very hidden, all this clone making, because we have high priestess, so it's hidden knowledge. And under the high priestess we have the dragon. So some kind of reptiles. We have the snake here, also the dragon here. Reptile energy is controlling this cloning business because it's a kind of business. And it seemed to be very dark for a long time because we have thunder and rain and dark times, but the sun will shine through. So all these cloning things will be revealed. We're gonna see the light, we're gonna see the sun around this. And integrity. So they're trying to integrate clones in human society. And they talk and look like people, so they are good on communication. But they don't work properly. So there are problems. And they are put in a trunk quite quickly. Here we have the card Drink More Water. It could be that they have some problem with the fluids, those clones, or they drink more water, or they have some problem with water retention in their bodies, some kind of glitch in this cloning process. And they are the big house turning into a little house, so they are not as good as the real thing. It's like a copy. It's something smaller of a big house, so they are not really that durable. I'm gonna take some more cards here. I got the question here in my head that could be good to maybe put some cards on, and that is if the clones are aware that they are clones, or if they are just like soulless machines. Are they aware that they are clones? How does that look? Are they good or are they bad? Let's first take 3 cards. If the clones are aware if they are clones. Not if that they are clones. Clones. Are they aware that they are clones? Not the real deal. Here we have Page of Wands, 8 of coins and Page of coins. And I get it's a process of learning. They have to be taught how to be a human. So I am not really sure that they are aware that they are clones, but they are thought to be humans or think like humans or act like humans. I don't really think that they are 100% aware that they are clones. It's more like yeah, they think they are humans, but they have to be taught how to be a human. It's a learning process. So the last cards here, are the clones good or bad? Evil or good? Clones, good or evil? Are the clones good or evil? Oh, comes more cards, yeah. First one is King of Coins. Then we have King of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. And here we have Ace of Coins, the Fool, and the Eight of Swords. Some kind of consciousness do the clones have. And they can be, if they are taught how to interact, they can be taught to be soldiers or like business people. Yeah, a lot of business people or people working with money, because I have 2 money cards. They are like clones. They are very narrow-minded. And they act foolish, so they have not like this logical or intuitive actions. They do what they are taught to do. If it's good things or bad things, they're not really good or bad. They're like empty shells, and what you program them with is what they will become. And they have some kinds of feeling. They can feel fear or panic, but I don't get any love cards, so not really love and compassion. That does not really come with them. Yeah. So my answer to that is, it depends what they're programmed for, if they will be good or bad clones. Yeah. But anyway, whatever business there is around those clones, they will come light upon that, so we can get to know the truth about this. Yeah. And what will happen to those clones that are around us? Well, time will tell when we get there. Or it could be for another reading. Okay, let's continue to the last question for today. And the last question is, the Pelacaras, that's what they are called, those aliens in Peru that are attacking people. And the last question is about those aliens that have, it has come many reports about aliens attacking villagers in different areas in Peru. And it seems like they are ripping off the faces of the victims. That's why they are called pelacaras. They are pelar, it means peel off faces. Yeah? And villagers are very afraid. The mass media in Peru is taking this quite seriously, and the villagers have asked for military help because they're very scared. And there are some videos circulating on the net around those attacks. And many villagers claims that those so-called ETs, alien beings, are more than 2 meters in height, and they can float in the air, and they have some kind of cloaking mechanism, and they are attacking people. And I'm going to look into that. Is it real aliens that are attacking people, or is it some kind of other thing, or if it's someone that is dressed out as aliens just to have some kind of gain out of it. There are also rumors saying that there are miners, people that mining areas around those villages, and they want to scare off villages so they can mine for gold or other precious materials in the jungle. So let's see about those pelacaras, those ETs. Are they real, or is this some dark hidden agenda behind it, when money is the biggest reason for attacks? And some oracle cards. And a gypsy card. Pelacaras. And finally some dice. One, two, three, four, and five. And the cards look like this. In the tarot cards, we have the Empress, Hanging Man, or the Hangman, Wands, the Chariot, Knight of Wands. And in the Oracle cards, we have Illumination, Enlightenment, many books. On this big Oracle card, we have time, some crack in time that is running out or disappearing. Positive change, thought, and on the dice we have 2 swords that are fighting, grace, a tree, a castle underwater, and crack. According to the cards, I don't get the feeling that these are real aliens. No. I don't get any indications from the cards that it's about aliens. It's more about natural resources. The Empress is overflowing. It's beauty, it's riches, and there is a fight about the riches, the nature resources. Yeah. And we also have the tree here. So I see this more like a way to get rid of villages, to get them scared to leave their villages, because of natural resources. And they are targeting them, they victimize them. They are victims to this fight about natural resources. But the time is running away for those who want to grab those natural resources. And there will be positive change, and those who are like causing this problem, they will not be able to do it for so long. It will come good news out of it, or they will find out who and what is behind those attacks. And it could be that it will even be a crack in those who are behind it. So it could be a whistleblower or someone that will confess what it is all about. And with the technology we have today, it's not so difficult to have some kind of holographic image or some kind of floating device to look like this are real aliens, that there are real aliens doing these attacks. And the thing is, mainly at night time when those attacks are happening. Yeah, and it's easier to make like different kind of diversions, or to make it look more like alien-like in nighttime than in daytime. Yeah, but it will be cleared out. I'm gonna take 3 less cards on those alien attacks in Peru. I'm gonna if it is real ETs, or if it's man-made attacks. Alien attacks or man-made attacks. Is it man-made, or if it is real aliens behind it? It looks like they are man-made. Here we have gift, money, bribes. So they are paid for. Those attacks are paid for. Yeah. So according to the cards, it looks like they are man-made. Well, that was my answers for the viewers' questions for today. And if you have liked what you have seen and heard, please don't forget to press like button, share button and subscription button. And I will probably do more viewers' questions videos in the near future. So if you maybe have a question or some topic you would like me to look into in a video like this, please, you can always mail me or put the question in the comment sector, and I will do my best to maybe have your question up in a video like this. Cannot promise that specifically your question will come, but I will do my best. And take care out there. Be strong, help each other, be alert. Everything that we are bombarded with right now, with news and strange happenings all around the world, don't rush in too much with emotions at the first sight. Try to use some discernment and look it from different kind of perspective, because many things are not what they seem like at the moment. And we have to help each other. If we have some news or important information, try to share it with each other. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we're gonna see each other soon again. Bye bye.